Now we move on to the accrued expenses. This is the second video. If you haven't watched the first video, the introduction video of the other payable and other receivable, please watch first video first, introduction video. Now we move on to accrued expenses. What is accrued expenses? The expenses that we supposed to pay, but we haven't paid. Okay, in accounting terms, we call that due but not paid. Okay, what is the meaning of due but not paid? You're supposed to pay. Due means they're supposed to pay, but we haven't paid. So whenever you see in anywhere in accounts, due but not pay, it's actually accrued. Okay, we read these notes first. An accrual is an amount due in accounting period. Due in accounting period means you're supposed to pay in this accounting period, which remain unpaid. Remain unpaid. Okay, come back here. It's due but unpaid. At the accounting period, we will wait until the last day of the accounting period. We will wait until the last day of the accounting period. If you start your accounts on the 1st January, 31st December is your last accounting period. If you start on 1st March 2018, 1st March 2018, 30th April, 1st March means 28th February 2019 will be your last accounting period. Or if you start on 1st April, 2018, 1st April 2018, 31st March 2019 will be your last day of accounting period. So we will wait until the last day. Until the last day also it's remain unpaid means then we will label that particular amount as our accrued expenses. We'll label as accrued expenses. Where an expenses is accrued, it means that some benefit or the service has been received during the accounting period. I repeat again, some benefit and the service has received. Some benefit or service has been received during this accounting period, but this benefit or service had not been paid. Had not been paid until the end of the period, end of the accounting period. Okay, we already ran ready. We already used the office, but we didn't pay. The worker already worked for us. The worker already gave us the service. Okay, we already enjoyed the benefit of the workers, but until the end of the period, we didn't pay. So all this we will label as or group them as accrued expenses. Okay, to apply the matching principle, the amount that we transfer to the income statement, should represent the expenses for the accounting period. Expenses for the accounting period covered by the account. This means that any amount due but unpaid, okay, due but unpaid must added to the amount that we paid to get total expenses that relating to the accounting period. Okay, so I'll put a simple formula here. The one that paid plus with due but not paid. You'll get total expenses. You'll get total expenses for the year. Okay, the one that you paid, expenses that you paid, plus with the expenses that due but you not paid. We haven't paid. You plus together to get a total expenses for the year. Then after that, after we plus into the expenses, the unpaid amount the unpaid amount will be recorded. The unpaid amount will be recorded or included in the current liability, recorded as a current liability in your statement of financial position. Why? So the next year, we will know there's an unpaid amount. So this statement of financial position will carry forward next year balance. Okay, so next year we will know there's an unpaid amount of that much. So we will pay the current liability. Okay, we try to answer this particular thing. We just decide debit what, credit what. During the year, when we pay the expenses, during the year, whenever we pay the expenses, we will debit the expenses account. We credit cash or bank account. Whenever we pay the expenses, we will debit the expenses account. We credit cash or bank account. Depends on we pay by check or pay by cash. Then after that, at the end of the year, we need to do adjustment for accrued expenses. At the end of the year, we need to do adjustments for accrued expenses. Accrued expenses means the expenses that you're supposed to pay, but you haven't paid. The expenses that you're supposed to pay, but you haven't paid. So we need to plus into the expenses account or we minus into the expenses account. We will plus into the expenses account. So if you want to plus expenses plus debit or credit, expenses plus is debit. So we'll debit the expenses account. We'll debit the expenses account. This year's expenses account. We'll debit this year's expenses account. Okay, we will debit this year's accounts, this year's expenses account, and then we will credit expenses account for next year, the following year actually, the following year. Okay, I repeat again. Whenever you want to do the accrued expenses, whenever you want to do accrued expenses, this accrued expenses, how much the value will be debit into the expenses account for this year and will credit the expenses account for next year or the following year. Okay, in a simple word, I can say this is your balance CD for this year, this is your balance BD for next year. Balance CD for this year, balance BD for next year. Okay, if this part is not clear, it's okay. Later we do one account. Inside the account, you will know that. Okay, after that, first we record how much we paid. Second, we do the adjustments. After we do the adjustments, and then the total income or expenses, the total expenses for this case, will transfer to income statement. Will transfer to the income statement. So whenever you want to transfer to income statement, we will minus the expenses. So expenses will be credit. Expenses account will be credit. And we will debit the income statement. Income statement. We'll credit the expenses account. We'll debit into the income statement. After that, don't forget, in a statement of financial position, we will record how much the accrued expenses. That particular accrued expenses will fall under current liability. Why it is current liability? Because accrued expenses means due but unpaid. What's due but unpaid? We owe that guy. If we owe the guy, that one will be your current liability. Okay, now we do one example. Example 1. So this example 1, I already do in a different page. I show you that. Okay, this is the example 1. Simon started a business on the 1st April 2017. Okay, this is the question. But if you started the business on the 1st April 2017, and accounts normally we do for 1 year, so this account will close when? They started on the 1st April 2017, means when they will close their account. You should know this time period first. You will close your account on 31st March 2018. So now, bear in mind, you are doing accounts for 1st April 2017 until 31st March 2018. This is your 1 year for this question. This is your 1 year for this question. Any expenses that related to this particular dates, we must include as our expenses for this year. So we continue. He received an invoice for telephone expenses quarterly in arrears. Wait, what is the meaning of quarterly? Quarterly means 3 months once. The meaning of the quarterly and the meaning of the quarterly means quarter year. Quarter year means 3 months once. 3 months once, we will receive the telephone bill, telephone invoice actually, telephone invoice, then we will pay. And it is in arrears. What is the meaning of arrears? What is the meaning of arrears? Arrears means arrears means we will pay, use first, then pay. We will use the telephone first, we'll pay later. Okay, like your telephone bill, your DG bill, your telecom, any bill, okay, we'll use first. Later only we will pay. That means arrears. Arrears means we use first, then only we pay. So we continue. During the year ended 31st March 2018, is payment for expenses include the following. We have telephone expenses that we paid by cash, 44, and telephone expenses paid by credit transfer. So if the question say credit transfer, is actually we pay from bank. Okay, we pay from bank. So whenever you see the credit transfer, it's actually bank. Whenever you see the credit transfer, it's actually bank. Then on the 2018 3rd January, telephone expenses paid, credit transfer, bank 62. And let us do this in our table here. I got do a table here. Since our accounting year start 1st April 2017 until 31st March, I already label here. Okay, 1st April 2017 until 31st March. This is my April 2017, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. This is my 1 year. This is my 1 year. Okay, the first payment I pay on 30th June. I pay 44. Then after that, on the 4th October, I pay another second payment, 56. On the 3rd January, 3rd January, I paid 62. So let us do a quick conclusion. This 44 that we pay for which, because normally we pay 3 months once, right? So this 44 for April, May, June. This April, May, June, I pay 44 on June. Clear? Then for July, August, September, July, August, September, I supposed to pay on September, but I didn't pay. When I paid for these 3 months, for the July, August, September, I supposed to pay on supposed to pay on September, but I didn't pay. When I paid this October. So this 56 that we paid in October, this 56 that we paid on October, is this for October or July, August, September? It is for July, August, September. Okay, this 56, yes, we paid on October, 4th October, but it is for July, August, September. Then, when we pay for October, October, November, December, this October, November, December, when we paid for October, November, December, we paid on January 62. We pay 62 on 3rd January. Can you see this? 3rd January, we pay 62. But this 62 we pay on January is actually for October, November, December. Then after that, so the total that we paid, is 162. Okay, until for the 31st December, we paid under 62, 44 plus 56 plus 62, under 62. But our accounting year will finish on 31st March 2018. For January, February, March, we haven't paid. So do you know how much for these 3 months? We need to continue read the question. An invoice for telephone expenses for 59 was received on 31st March 2018. On the 31st March 2018, we received the bill, we received the invoice, $59. This was telephone expenses up to the end of March. Yes, I understand that. But not paid until the 5th April. So you didn't pay until 5th April, means on the 5th April you pay. So 5th April is actually next year. You pay on the next year. So as at 31st March, we are doing accounts until 31st March 2018. This 59, that which is for January, February, March, you're supposed to pay, but you didn't pay. So the 59 will be our owing. 59 will be our owing. So how much is my total expenses for this year? 162 that I already paid plus with 59. 162 that I already paid during this month, and 59 that I supposed to pay, but I haven't paid. So my total expenses for this month, this year is 221. Can you understand this? Okay, 162 we already paid. 59 we supposed to pay, but we didn't pay. So the total we need to plus 221. So now we understand the question. We try to put inside our account here. So first remember, whenever you pay your expenses, your expenses will increase. Expenses increase, you will record in the debit side. I record the first one. Right here, 2017. June 30th. June 30th, I write here cash. How much? 44. We write here 44. And then we will debit the telephone expenses account. We debit the telephone expenses account. and then we will credit the cash. But now the question didn't ask you to do a cash account, so we don't care about the cash account. So credit will be cash, but we don't care about the cash account. This is the telephone expenses account. We do only the telephone expenses account. Next one, on the 4th October, we pay again, and then we write here October 4th. This time I write bank. Why I write bank? Because it's a credit transfer. Then the amount here will be 56. Then after that, 2018 3rd January, I paid 62. So I write here in the debit side also 2018 January 3, right here, bank. How much? 62. This one also we record already. So all these three done already. And now this 59, we supposed to pay this year, but we haven't paid. So this 59, is it for this year or next year? This is this 59 for this year. Okay, this, our year is until the March lah. Okay, 1st April 2017 until 31st March. This 59 for this year, but we haven't paid. Even though we haven't paid, but we will include here, we will plus here 59. And then the date will be March 31st. Why I put March 31st? Because until the 31st March, I waited until 31st March. Okay, we haven't paid 59. This 59 didn't pay. When we pay on 5th April. So this one will be go next year. Next year account only will show this payment. But this 59 is for this year, but we didn't pay. So even though we didn't pay, we will record here in this year's account. And this 59 we will label as balance CD. Why I record this as a balance CD? Because this 59 we supposed to pay this year, but we didn't pay. So this balance will be carried down. This balance 59 will be carried down, and this 59 we leave one line. We leave one line, and then we write here 59. This 59, when is this 59? This is on 2018. Next year, this is the next year account. On April 1st, we will put it as a balance BD. Can you see that? Okay, our 1 year is, our first year is start on 2017 April. Can you see this? 2017 April until the 31st March. So until this is our first year, our year. This year. Okay, and we do accounts until this year. And this 59 here, we transfer to next year. This is considered next year. I change the color so we see the difference. Huh? Okay, this is the next year account. This is the this year's account. This is this year account. So we start on 1st April. 1st April until June, we didn't pay anything. On the June, we pay this. October, we pay this. Even though it is 2018, but still for our accounting year, this is our first accounting year. Okay, even though it's the year different, 2017, 2018, different year, but our accounting year start on 1st April 2017 until 31st March. Is considered our year. Okay, is the first year. Okay, and then until this is our first year. Okay, we paid, this one we didn't pay. Since we didn't pay, so what we do, we write balance CD, and this balance will be carried down until here. And this balance here brought down to this year. So this year accountant or this year, we will pay this 59. Okay, but we haven't finished this year's account. Okay, this year's account here just hanging like this. So we need to conclude this. We need to balance up. How to balance up? We see debit side, and then we see credit side. The debit side is bigger, so I total up. So here I use computer to calculate, but you people can use calculator lah. Okay, we take this plus this plus this plus this. I'll get 221. And this 221, we draw a line. You draw a line, double line here, double line here. Same thing, double line here, double line here. So this balance will be equivalent to this. After that, here have nothing to plus or minus. So this 2 to 1 will record here. The date will be last day of the month, 2018, March 31st. Last day of the month, March 31st. And this 2 to 1 is the expenses for this year. Just now we calculated our expenses for this year. So since this is expenses for this year, we will write income statement. So this 2 to 1 will go to the income statement. So can you see or not? This is the expenses account. We record how much we pay, how much we pay, how much we pay, how much we supposed to pay, but I didn't pay. I record also. I total up all this. And this total will be transferred to income statement because this is our total expenses for this year, regardless we paid or we haven't paid. So this 2 to 1, we will transfer to income statement. The question B here, they asked me to prepare income statement extract. Extract means a part of income statement, which is this 2 to 1. Telephone expenses will record under which category in the income statement? We record under other expenses. It will be under other expenses. We write telephone expenses. Okay, under the other expenses in the income statement column section, we write telephone expenses. Then these telephone expenses is how much for this year? 2 to 1. Then after that, we do the extract of statement of financial position. Okay, out of this, which one will go to the statement of financial position? The one that in the balance BD here. The one that balance BD here will go here. Okay, we write here 59 here. And this is actually telephone expenses accrued. Okay, telephone expenses accrued. But the most right name, the most right label here is, we'll write other payables. Okay, normally we will write other payables. Okay, the correct name is other payables. But this one is actually telephone expenses accrued. Okay, you can write telephone expenses accrued also, it's not a problem. But the most correct answer to write here is other payables, because we haven't paid, right? We next year only we pay. So this one will be under which category? In the statement of financial position, which category? Current asset or current liability? How to decide current asset or current liability? We see this. Okay, we can see one. One is accrued. Accrued means expenses. Accrued means we owe that guy. It's our liability. Another way to decide is asset or liability. We see the balance BD. Balance BD in the credit side. Balance BD in the credit side will be of liability. So I write here current liability. It's your current liability. Okay, this is how we do the example 1. Okay, we are done with the example number 1. This example just now we did already. So now we go for second topic, which is prepaid expenses. Just now we did accrued expenses. And now this topic is prepaid expenses. A prepayment is the amount that paid in advance. Paid in advance. If you pay in advance, we call that prepaid expenses. Where an expenses is prepaid means a payment had been made during the year. Okay, the payment had been made during the year for some benefit or service to be received in the future. For future. So we pay in advance, pay in advance. We pay this year something that we're going to enjoy next year. Any amount paid during this financial year relating to the future accounting period must be deducted, must be minus from this year. Why we need to minus? Because it's not for this year, what? It's not for this year. So we minus from this year's payment, from the amount paid. So only the expenses relating to this accounting will be transferred to the income statement. You understand now? Something that we pay extra, we will just take out, we minus. And then the balance, how much for this year, will transfer to income statement. And remember, prepayment amount will be included under the current asset because we pay extra, that guy owe us. Okay, the guy owe us means it's our current asset. So before we do one example, let's see the records. During the year when we pay, the expenses, we will debit the expenses account. Credit the cash or bank account. And at the end of the year, adjustment for the prepaid. Okay, prepaid, you need to plus or minus at the end of the year. At the end of the year, prepaid will be plus or minus. Prepaid means not for this year, it's for next year. So we will minus. Expenses minus mean will be debit or credit? Credit. So we go credit, we write expenses account. Expenses account for this year. Expenses account for this year. And we will credit expenses account next year, the following year actually. The following year actually. Just now, do you see or not? Okay, let me show you. We plus here, this year's, and we record debit here, credit here. Since it's accrued, we debit this year here, and then we credit the following year. Similar to this. But this one is, our example here is prepaid. Prepaid the other way around lah. So credit will be this year, debit will be next year. That's how we do this. After that, whenever you want to transfer to income statement, we will take out the expenses. So expenses will be credit because we take out the expenses account, and then we will transfer to income statement. So income statement will be debit. Income statement will be debit. And if it is a prepaid expenses under the statement of financial position, we will record as our current assets. We record under current assets. Okay, now we move on to example number 2. Example number 2, I already typed in this file. This is our example 2. Okay, this is about insurance. So this is my insurance account. Example 2, Simon started a business on the 1st April 2017. Again, if they start on 1st April 2017, when they will end? They will end on 31st March 2018. This is your accounting. Always decide your accounting year. Then only you know how much you pay extra or pay less or whatever. Simon rented a premise until 1st July when he purchased a premises. Okay, until 1st July, he renting the premises. On the 1st July, he purchased one new premises. Premises means building. Premises means building. He had paid a check for 600 for 1 year insurance on his premises on 1st July. Write up insurance account. We don't care about the rental. We are doing insurance account. So when you buy the insurance, you buy the insurance on 1st July. So this is my financial account. This is my financial account. start from 1st April until 31st March. Until 31st March. So I pay the insurance on 1st July. So this is my July. I pay the insurance on July. How much I pay? I pay 600. And this 600 valid for how long? Valid for 1 year. This 600 I pay for 1 year. So 1 year means 12 months. Start from July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. This is my 1 year. This is my 1 year. My insurance valid until 1st July until 30th June 2018. But I do my account until 31st March only. Can you see or not? I do the accounts until 31st March. So if you go through the first 3 months, no insurance, no problem. This 600 that pay on July, I pay until next year June. It means I close my account on the March. I overpaid how many months? I overpaid April, May, June. Overpaid 3 months. So this 600 that I pay included extra for 3 months. So 3 months prepaid. 3 months had been prepaid. So can we calculate how much is the prepaid? 600 divide with 12. Why divide with 12? Because this 600 that I pay for 1 year, for 12 months. So 600 divide 12, and then we need to times with how many months? How many months extra? 3 months extra. Okay, 600 divide 12 times 3. Then I will get, we take a calculator, we calculate 600 divide 12 times 3. I get 150. This 150 is my prepaid. So out of the 600 that I pay, 150 will become my prepaid. I overpaid by 150. So now we have to extract this information inside our insurance account. This is my insurance account. First, I record how much I pay. Don't care it's for which month, we record first. So we write 2017 in the debit side because expenses paid mean expenses increase on July 1st. July 1st, I write here bank. Why I write here bank? Because the cases say we had paid by check, paid a check. Okay, so write a bank. How much we pay? 600. I know from the part of the 600 is not for this year. We don't care for which year. How much we paid, we record first. We record how much we pay first. 600. After that, I realize there's a 3 months prepaid. How much the 3 months? 150 is prepaid. If 150 is prepaid, we need to plus from here or minus from here. Prepaid means minus. If you want to minus here, it will be debit or credit. Expenses minus means credit. But the date will be last date, 2018, March 31st. Then normally we will leave one line here. Normally we leave one line here to write the income statement. If you forget to leave one line, you write here also can, no problem, you still get the same marks. But the perfect answer is we leave one line here. leave one line always for expenses, all the expenses account. In a credit side, the first line you leave it empty first. Okay, all the expenses account. In the credit side, the one line you leave it empty. And now I need to minus how much? I need to minus 150. So I leave one line here, I write here 150. And this 150 will be March 31st, the same date, so no need to repeat the date. What is this? This is the prepaid. But what we write? We will write balance CD. Why we write balance CD for this prepaid? Because this is for next year. This 150 for next year. So we need to carry it down. What is the meaning of carry down? This balance will be carried down next year. So this balance will be carried down next year, which is 150 here. And then we'll write here 2018. The date will be April 1st. Because here March 31st, what? March 31st, the next day is April 1st. We write here balance BD, balance BD. Okay, so I put in a color so we know the difference. This is the next year account. This is the next year account. And this is our this year's account. Okay, in exam, you don't need to put all these colors. I'll just show you so you know the difference. Okay, now am I done with the this year's account? No, we need to balance up. How to balance up? Debit, credit, which one is bigger? Debit is bigger. If debit is bigger, we total up this. We need to draw the double line. Draw a double line like this. Here also. This 600, we write here. 600 minus 150 will get 450. What is the 450? This 450 is the expenses for this year. Expenses for this year. So expenses for this year will be transferred to income statement. We'll write the income statement here. Okay, that's it. We are done for insurance account. After that, question B asked me to do the income statement. Now, this one is supposed to be income statement. Okay, income statement for the year ended 31st March 2018. There's a typo there. Okay, come back here. Income statement. We do the income statement. Which one will go to income statement? This 450. So I go here. I write 450. And what is this? This is the insurance. And insurance go where? In insurance. Insurance will go under which category? Same, all the expenses will go to other expenses. Other expenses. So after this, we need to do the question C is extract or statement of financial position. So we'll do the financial position. Financial position, we take which one? This under 50, which is we'll carry for next year. Under 50. This under 50 is my insurance prepaid. But what is the right name to write here? We write other receivable. Other receivable. And it's in a debit side, prepaid insurance or the balance in the debit side. If the balance in the debit side or insurance prepaid will be our current assets. We are done with example number 2. Now we go to example number 3. Example number 3, we read the question here. Example 3, Simon started a business on the 1st April 2017. Again, we need to know if we start on 1st April, we will finish on 31st March 2018. During the year ended 31st March 2018, he purchased stationery costing 113. Stationery costing 113. So I want to do straight away, I want to do in the stationery account. This is my stationery account. Stationery is expenses. Stationery is expenses. Okay, remember that. So whenever we buy the stationery, will be debit side. So we go debit side. We write 2018 March 31st. March 31st will be in a debit side. 133. And the question not clearly tell me it is a cash or bank, but you can simply write cash lah. Okay, if you write bank also can, because the question is not clear here. They didn't say anything. If they didn't say anything, normally we see the number lah. The number very small, so we write cash. If you write bank also, no harm, you can do that. Okay. Then after that, we realize on the 1st March to on the 31st March 2018, the inventory stationery. Okay, what is the meaning of inventory stationery? You need to know this. Inventory stationery means the stationery that we already buy but haven't used. Okay, the stationery we already buy but we haven't used. So buy means you already pay. Buy means you already pay. After you pay, but the out of the under 33 that you buy, that you pay, and 36 you haven't used. If you haven't used, it's considered something like prepaid. Why I call this prepaid? Because we already pay for it, but we haven't used the 36. We already pay the 133, but we haven't used the 36. How I know we haven't used? Because they say inventory of stationery. Whenever the question say inventory of stationery, something that we buy ready, but we haven't used. So this one will go here, will plus here or minus here. Stationery 133 we pay for this year. Out of this 133, 36 is not for this year. Why I'm telling not for this year? Because we didn't use this year. We're going to use next year. So we take out from this year, we minus. Minus will go to credit side. So, but this is the expenses, right? As I told you, we write here 2018 March 31st. And then we leave one line here. Expenses, we leave one line here. Down here, we'll write 36. And what the date will be same date, so no need to repeat. What is 36? We write here balance CD. Why I write balance CD? Balance CD means carry down. This 36 will be carried down for next year. Carried down for next year. So this 36 I write here 36. It will be become my balance BD for the following year. What is the following year? 2018 April 1. But am I done? No, we need to balance up this. How to balance up this? So we total up this 133. Let me draw a line here. The line is very important now. The same line will be here. This under 33 will record here. Under 33 minus 36, which is we haven't used. We pay, we buy for under 33 minus the 36, which we haven't used. So the one that we used for this year is 96. Sorry, 97. This 97 will go to income statement because that's your expenses for this year. We are done with stationery account. Now we do example 4. Read the question first. Simon financial year ends on 31st March. So every year on the 31st March, the account they will close. If they close on 31st March means They will start on 1st April. 1st April, the first year until 31st March, the second year. Okay, 1st April, the first year. This can be 2018 or 2019. 2019 here, 2020 here. Okay, 31st March, the following year. That's our accounting year. So we read further to know which year we are doing accounts. He received an invoice, telephone expenses quarterly. We already know what is quarterly. Quarterly means 3 months once. In arrears means use first. After that only we pay. On 1st April 2018, the telephone expenses account in Simon's nominal ledger showed a credit balance of 59. Okay, if you realize the example 1, 2, and 3, there's no balance BD. So now this is the focus. Example 4, there's a balance BD. How I know this is balance BD? Because the question here say 1st April. Whenever they say 1st April 2018 is the opening balance, balance BD. And they say there's a balance of credit balance of 59. So balance BD, whenever they say balance BD, whenever they say credit side, we also will follow. It will be in a credit side. So I will go, this is my expenses account, telephone expenses account. I write 2018 in the credit side. Why I write in the credit side? Because the question here say credit balance. So we follow. April 1, right here, balance BD. Balance BD is 59. Balance BD is 59. Balance BD 59. After that, we continue read. Before we continue, let me ask you questions. If the balance BD in the credit side, if the balance BD in the credit side is asset or liability? Balance BD credit side is liability. Telephone expenses will become liability when? Whenever you overpaid or underpaid. When the telephone expenses will become liability? Whenever you overpaid or underpaid. Underpaid. Underpaid means accrued. So this is a telephone expenses accrued 59 that we didn't pay last year. So last year CD, they brought down here, brought down 59 here. So we continue. During the year ended 31st March 2019, his payment of the expenses include this. Okay, we pay. Okay, we pay by cash. We pay by cash is 59. And then by check, 60. And then by credit transfer. Credit transfer means bank also, 48. And then 56 by credit transfer again. So these are the payment that we pay. These are the dates. So we write all the payments first inside our telephone expenses account. Telephone expenses is expenses. Whenever we pay, our expenses increase. When expenses increase, it will be in a debit side. So we write April 5. We write here cash. Why I write here cash? Because they say cash here. We just follow the question. 59. After that, on June 30th, we write here bank. Why I write here bank? Because they say check. Check means we write bank, 60. After that, October 2nd. On the October 2nd, again we write here bank, 48. Why bank 48? Because they say credit transfer. Credit transfer also bank. And then last one is December 31st. December 31st, we write again bank here, 56. Okay, we continue. After that, we have done all these. An invoice for telephone expenses 63 was received on 31st March 2019. This was for telephone expenses up to March. March is this year, but was not paid until 2nd April 2019. So this the 63 is for this year, but we didn't pay until next year. If we didn't pay until next year for this year, but we didn't pay until next year, means we will plus here or minus here. We will plus. How much? 63. Plus mean will be debit side. Huh? So I write here. Why I leave one line? Because I want to write the year here. Okay, what is the date? 2019 March 31st. March 31st. So this one is accrued for this year. If accrued for this year, what we do? We write here balance CD. This balance CD later will become balance BD. Let me add one line. Okay, later will become balance BD. But before that, can I balance up this? How to balance up this? Total up all this right here. And then don't forget to draw a line. Draw one line, draw one line, draw a line, draw a line. And this 228 will go here. And this 286, sorry, 286 will minus with 59. 286 minus 59 will get this answer, 227. This 227, the date will be last day, or since the last day, I need to take this right here. 227 is here because I want to write the year here, 2019, because last day of the year is 2019, March 31st. Okay, this 227 is the expenses for this year. So we write income statement. We write income statement. Okay, am I done with this account? No. This balance CD must transfer to balance BD. This balance CD must transfer to balance BD next year. So I write here 2019 on April 1st. Write here balance BD. My balance BD is 63. That's it. We are done with example number 4. Now we're going to do example number 5. This is my example number 5. Let's me read the question. Example 5, Simon financial year ends on 31st March. So bear in mind, if they finish on if they end on 31st March, means they will start in previous year's April. On a 1st April 2018, the insurance account in a nominal ledger showed a debit balance. See, this one also opening balance because 1st April, they say debit balance. Debit balance. If a debit balance means, we write in the debit side. We go to the insurance account, we write a debit 150. The year is 2018 on the April 1. We write here balance BD. How I know this balance BD? Because it's the 1st April 2018. So it's my balance BD. Before we continue, let me ask you questions. If the balance BD in the debit side, is your asset or liability? Balance BD in the debit side will be my asset. Insurance is expenses. When expenses will become asset? When the expenses will become my asset? Whenever we prepaid or accrued. Whenever prepaid. So this is the insurance prepaid. So we continue. He paid 636 for 1 year insurance. His premises by direct on the 1st July. So I go here. I write here. Debit side. Now why debit side? Because we pay. We pay mean expenses increase. Expenses increase will be debit side. July 1st, pay by direct debit. Direct debit mean we write bank. How much? 636. Okay, so this one we paid this for this year, we paid last year. This one we paid this year. So after this, what happened? If and my accounting year finish on 31st March, I paid the insurance on the 1st July. So I'm not very sure. Since I'm not sure, so I need to do this table here. Okay, my accounting year start on 1st April 2018 until 31st March 2019. This is my accounting year. This is my accounting year. Okay, and on the 1st April itself, there's a under 50 we paid last year, but for this year. This under 50 that we paid last year, but for this year. That's why they brought down here. That's why they brought down here. We paid last year, carried down, become brought down here because this under 50 for this year, which we paid last year. After that, on the July, 1st July, right? We paid 1st July 663. Sorry, 636. And this one for 1 year. They say 1 year. They pay insurance for 1 year. So until when? July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So we have paid until the next year's June. But unfortunately, we finish we close our account on 31st March. We close our account on 31st March 2019. It means we overpaid how many months? We overpaid 3 months. So again, we need to do this calculation. 636 that we paid for this year, 636 that we paid for this year, we paid this year is actually for how many months for next year? We close our account March means 3 months for next year. So 636 divide 12. Why I divide 12? Because it's for 1 year. 1 year means we divide 12 times with how many months extra? 3 months extra. So times with 3. And then take a calculator. I take calculator with 636 divide 12 times 3. Divide 12 times 3. I get 159. This 159 will become my insurance prepaid. Insurance prepaid. So this insurance prepaid, I will plus into the insurance account or minus from the insurance account. This is for this year or not for this year? This is not for this year. This is for next year. So we need to minus. If insurance is expenses, expenses minus mean will be in a credit side. So I write here 2018. 2019. 2019 March 31st. But you remember, all the expenses must leave one line for the income statement first. So we leave one line here. And then here we write balance CD. What is the balance CD? My balance CD for this year is 159. 159. This balance CD will become balance BD later. So I'll balance out first. So I total up this. I get a 786. This 786 will be here. And don't forget to write or draw the line. And the total minus with how much not for this year? 786 minus 159, I'll get 627. This 627 is my income statement. Am I done? No. If you pass up this, you lost 1 mark. The balance CD must transfer to balance BD. (2019) April 1. Yes, we are done. Okay, this is the end of the second video. After this, next video, we will do income prepaid and income accrued. Thank you.